Hello and welcome back to the Gaming Tech channel, everybody. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and here we are with our Forza Horizon 5 series. This is our first stream of 2026. I hope everybody had a great start to the 2026 year. So we're gonna start the stream with our good old Forza Horizon 5, because why replace something that's not broken? And here we are with the 2024 M2. We're gonna be doing some seasonal championships here on the map. We got a few, so let's start with the first one here. This game is now officially 5 years old. Isn't that crazy? And I'm really excited for the Forza Horizon 6 to release this year. It's gonna be a fun game. We actually have a championship nearby. We'll do that one first. So we don't have a recommended car for this event, so we're gonna have to buy one. Wait, what? There's nothing in there. What? What's this about, bro? What do you mean? Huh? I'm confused. Okay. That makes no sense. Should we try that one more time? I've never seen this before. Wow. Anyways, we're gonna continue on to the next championship. Maybe we won't run into this issue over there. So let's just continue on. Oh, wait. Huh. Why can't I use this? So I do have an eligible car, but I can't use it. That's alright. We'll come back to this one later. Maybe it'll fix itself. Let's drive down to the other one. Is that one gonna be all glitchy like this? I hope not. Let's see what happens now. Hopefully no glitches here. Oh no, it's gonna work. That's perfect. That is good. So we have two cars that we can pick from our garage. They're both Jags. Do I want a longer wheelbase car or a little shorter with less power? I kind of like the XKR-S. Yeah, it's a little old school, but I like it. It's got more power. It's modified to the top of A-Class A800, where this one is bone stock, I believe. So we're gonna pick the modified one. These Jags with the V8 supercharged, they sound so good. Little late on braking over there. I think this car has the 6-speed auto. It's geared pretty nicely. It's doing its job like intended. Can we close in the gap? There's a good chance. Come on, come on, come on. We got this. And what a dramatic end. We got second place. I'm okay with that. We still got 2 more races to go. We'll make up for this over there. Yeah, we're not gonna restart. It was pretty good. We almost lost it at the end. But we finished second, so not bad at all. Yep, it's a 6-speed auto. Alright, let's go to the next race. Yeah, we just gotta brake early, you know. It's a heavy coupe, so... And I don't think it has the best tires on here. in terms of compound. So we just gotta be mindful of that and brake a little early. In terms of power, it's got all the power. Handles pretty decent. And it sounds so good. The key is not to go full throttle in first gear. Go halfway and then shift into second and then go full throttle. And just let the tires eat. Unless it's an all-wheel drive car, then it doesn't matter. You can go all out right from the beginning. But this is a rear-wheel drive car. And it's front heavy, so there's not a whole lot of weight on the back end. Cars like the new C8, where it's mid-engine and rear-wheel drive, or like the Porsche 911, where you got rear-wheel drive and rear engine, you don't really have that trouble with those kind of platforms in that configuration. But front engine, rear-wheel drive, and you will run into wheel spin for sure. But it also makes the drive kind of fun at the same time. Easy peasy. Alright, where's the next race? Right over here. Let's do this. Solid race. And we win the championship. Look at that. Alright, we got one more to go. Or a couple more, actually. This one should be fun. Let's change your car now. Drive something different. We built this Honda in our last stream. It was a lot of fun. The Civic Type R, naturally aspirated. We need to let it bang off the limiter for a little longer before we shift it into second gear. There we go. Is there a hair in my eye? I don't think so. Alright, let's do this. It's gonna be an off-roading race. We got a few options here. I really don't want to go with the G-Wagons. They're super heavy. Yeah, they got power, but they're really freaking heavy. I've used the Broncos so much. I really want to just use something different, and that leaves us with the Gladiator. The Gladiator does have a decent amount of horsepower. I believe I have a supercharger on it. I'm 100%, but I think I do. I don't think it's a turbo setup, but we'll find out. Yeah, let's go with the Gladiator. It's really light compared to, you know, the G-Wagons. Bronco is a little bit lighter, but it's lacking the horsepower. Has more torque, but I think we need horsepower as well, you know, in terms of speed. We'll give the Gladiator a go. Yup, it's supercharged. A supercharged V6. The V6 Pentastar, 3.6 liter. The motor that Stellantis puts in every freaking car, every Jeep, every minivan. They put this thing in everything. It's kind of reliable, so I get it. Not the most powerful engine out there, but it gets the job done. It really wakes up when you supercharge it. Every Dodge, Chrysler, I believe even some of the Rams have this engine, which is kind of weird. But I guess not everybody needs a V8, right? It's pulling good. Supercharged V6 plus 8-speed from factory, it does the trick. And it's not really heavy, like those G-Wagons. This is what you buy when you can't decide between a truck and a Jeep. Buy the Gladiator. I'm not a huge fan of the look, but it's alright. It's not the worst looking thing out there. If I were to decide between a Honda Ridgeline and a Gladiator, I'll pick the Gladiator any day. Alright, I'll be right back. I need to put my phone on charge. And I am back. Let's continue with this championship. Yo, what's up? Thanks for joining. Alright, where's the next event? Somewhere. He's gonna look for it. Over here, all the way down here. Alright, we're gonna switch our car. We'll drive down there in a different car. The E-Ray, no. It's too powerful. I want something more balanced. I mean, the stock E-Ray is not powerful, but I modified the one I have to 13 something 100 horsepower, so it's a little too much. I'm looking for a balanced car. This is a nice fun car, the RCF. From factory, the RCF feels a little heavy, a little sluggish, but we have some weight reduction done to it, and I believe a supercharger as well. Yep. we can't be finishing third. That's not happening. That's good enough. We still got one more race to go. Altogether, me and the second place player have 36 points. So next one's gonna be a decider. I really need to get first place in the next one. How far is the next race? Let's see. Alright, we'll drive down there in a different car again. Let's try this out. The Monero. The Australian Pontiac GTO. I don't think I've driven that before. Yeah, basically a GTO. Would this be a LS2? I don't think it's LS3. It might be LS6 actually. Yeah. Either LS2 or LS6. I think the LS2 might be a 5.7. I know LS1 is 5.7 and LS3 is 6.2. This could be a LS6. Because if you look at the horsepower number, it's right at 400 and even the torque is at 400. And that's like the same motor you'll get in a 2005 C5? Yeah. C6. Yeah, 2005 C6. So it very well could be a LS6. Still a great motor. This is a manual. 6-speed, I think. Yup. This is a nice cruiser. Nice GT car. Got the nice long gears for the highway. Oh. Yeah, fourth is really long. Drops the RPM quite a bit. Oh wow, sixth is even longer. So 4 and 6 are super long in this car. Yeah, driving at 70 miles per hour at 1800 RPM, that's pretty good. This is definitely a highway cruiser. Get a downshift to third gear. You really get it going. I mean, that's normal. I feel like if we change the rear end gearing on this car, make it a little lighter, it would be a lot more fun. Yeah, we're doing 103rd gear. Yeah, this is some long gearing. I think I'm gonna build this car later on. It's got good potential. And I like the platform. It's a nice long wheelbase. Handles decent. Has good power. The brakes could use a little more work. By just looking at the front calipers, looks like 2 piston brakes on the front and single in the back. Yeah, we shouldn't have to shift into first gear to do these turns. The gearing is super long. A 10 speed in this thing would be awesome, honestly. This thing would fly. Alright, we're gonna stick with the Gladiator. It's been doing good so far, so why change it? Come on, Gladiator. This little Jeep is ripping it. Understeer. So much understeer. And now oversteer. No, we cannot for the second. We need to finish first. We're having trouble turning. Come on, come on, come on. You gotta pass this Jeep. Big jump. Gladiator took it like a champ. Nice. Okay. Got the Lancer Evo 10. Is that my first Evo 10? It might be. Let's find out. Megane? That's cool. Another front wheel drive. Rally? Super hot hatch, okay. So looks like I already had one. Now we have two. Cool. Oh, what about the Jag that we won? Which one is it? I think we just won that horn. It wasn't really a car that we won. I know we won 2 cars so far. We already looked at them. Anyways, let's just keep on going. Still got one more championship to do. Well, 2 more, but one is being a little glitchy, so we'll see if it's gonna work now. This retro hot hatch was front wheel drive, but we converted it to rear wheel drive and added some aero to it. It's a fun little car drive. Nothing special, but it's fun. Alright, there's this one that was being a little weird. Oh, the restriction is a barn find. Okay, that's why we couldn't find a car for it. I see. That's why it was all empty. And all the barn finds that I have, I believe they're not in A class. And you can't buy a barn find, so that makes sense. That makes sense. I should have looked at the restriction before entering the championship, but it's all good. Now we know. So, I'm just gonna go take a look at my cars here. Filter them out. So do we not have a filter for barn finds? No, we don't. Okay. Wait, let me just go back to the festival. I think that's how you get to the barn finds. Right here, okay. So, I don't have a A-class barn find. That's why we couldn't enter that race. And this barn find that I have is S1. Okay. So, because this was the only car that was showing as eligible, but we couldn't use it, and I didn't understand at the point what was going on. So we're gonna take one of our barn finds and convert it into A class so we can use it for the race, because the restriction is A class barn find. So I'm not gonna detune any of the cars that I've already modified. I'm just gonna pick something that's untouched, non-modified. For example, this Dart Hemi Superstock. It's in B class. I think I might just go with this one. Could go with this Ferrari, but the thing about this Ferrari is I think this car is like $12 million, something like that. So I don't really want to modify this. I want to keep it the way it is. We could modify this Mustang, but it's in D class. It's gonna require a bunch of mods to get it up to A class. It would be fun to build it. So I'm either gonna could build this Corvette, but I don't want a convertible for this race, for the championship. This Dart Hemi seems like a good choice. It's got, lightweight, good power. All it probably needs is like better tires to put it into A class. So either I'm gonna go with this or the Mustang, the 1968 GT2 plus 2. The Porsche could be a nice option. Yeah, the Carrera 911. But again, I kind of want to tastefully modify this one, Or I might even want to keep a stock. I know for sure I don't want to keep the Mustang stock. And we could modify this, the Ford F100, but again, it's a truck. I want it to be a coupe or a sedan. So that only leaves us with a few cars. I think I'm gonna go with the Mustang, because why is the Mustang heavier than the Dodge Dart Hemi? That's weird. Yeah, let's go with the Mustang. I'm actually gonna build the Mustang. Let's build this right now. We'll do the championship for the barn find restriction first. With the barn find restriction. So it needs to be A class, and that's the only restriction. A class barn find. So right off the bat, should we drive this thing stock first? I think I should. Just to get an idea of what needs to be done. So it's got super skinny tires on it. It has a lot of torque. It revs all the way to 7,000 RPM. I'm not sure if it makes power all the way up to 7. By power, I mean not horsepower, torque. The torque probably like dies down around 6-ish. But it will make a little bit more horsepower if you rev it all the way. What if I shift a little early? Let's see what happens. Not much. Yeah, let's build this thing. It's got decent power, decent gearing from factory. It's definitely geared for the quarter mile. That looks like a 65. The first gen. Bro, I'm not trying to race. A little bit of body roll. So we need better tires, better brakes. We'll make it a little lighter. And we need a better transmission. The power is alright. Maybe we'll add a little bit of power, but not too much. So let's build this thing quickly and enter the championship again. So we'll start with tires because that's where this car is going to jump up classes pretty quick. So just by getting some decent tires, it goes from D to C and then C to B. I'm not going to get the best tires possible because we're not adding a whole lot of power. Yeah, I want better grip, but I think we can achieve that with semi-slicks. So we'll go with semi-slicks. And I want them to be wider. As you can see, we're only 180 millimeter wide on 14-inch rims. And we got huge sidewall. So we'll take care of that right now. Wow, the size, it goes up really quick. We just went from like 180 to 295 and then like 335s and 345s. We definitely don't want 345s on here. This is not going to be a 1,000 horsepower car. I'm thinking we should go with 295s. Even 315s might be a little too much for what we're trying to do here. 295s up front and 275s. Oh, sorry, 295s at the rear and 275s up front. That's going to do the trick. And let's reduce the sidewall because we don't want sidewall roll. So from 14s, I think we're going to go with 17s. 17s look okay. Yeah, they don't look period correct like the 14s, but we're trying to race this car. And we want it to handle good. Yeah, I'm not putting 19s on here, don't worry. Or 18s. 17s is just right. Same with the front, 17s. And we'll improve the rear track width so the tires are kind of flush with the body. Yeah, we'll go all out at the back here. And for the front, we might not need to go all out. Yeah, this is alright. The first stage, yeah, this is a little too much. So just a little bit is fine. And we should put some better wheels on here. Some muscle style wheels. Or should we put tuner style? Or somewhere in the middle? I don't think any of these look that great. These are alright. Wow, we're really gonna shed some weight. The Warsteiner. Yeah, these are okay. Minus 71 pounds. I've never seen a car shed so much weight on its wheels. This must have some really freaking heavy wheels from factory. So I was gonna go with muscle style wheels, but I really like the way one of these wheels, the Warsteiner V-FF101. Yeah, these look pretty good. All right, we'll go with these. And now let's work on the suspension. Let's put the best brakes on here. And we are gonna go with not race suspension. I feel like race suspension is gonna make the car too stiff. We want some suspension travel, you know. We want this car to soak up some bumps. So I'm gonna go with sport springs and dampers. It'll drop the car about an inch, and we're not gonna have crazy camber like how we would with the race springs and dampers. So this is fine right here. No, let's not make it too stiff here. I'm gonna get street anti-roll bars, just slight bit, you know, stiffer than factory. And actually in the front, we don't need any. Just on the rear, because as you can see, the front, the first option that we have is sport, so it already has like street style anti-roll bars from factory. So on the rear, we made it a little stiffer, because it is a solid rear axle car. I don't think it has independent suspension. But actually, I'm not 100% sure in that. I know older Mustangs, like up until 2014, they were all solid rear axle, but you never know, man. Because I don't see a axle going from side to side here, like, you know, a solid rear axle. I'm pretty sure it's solid rear axle, but I don't want to quote on that. So in terms of weight, I'm going to make it a little lighter. Okay, we can't do that. Well, it can go up to 800, but as we go higher up in its class, close to the max 800, we're going to be competing with cars that are really quick. So I want to keep it somewhere in the middle of A class. Let's not make it super light. I mean, if we do make it this light, I don't want to add like too much power. So maybe we could go all out with weight reduction. But, and I also want to add some reinforcement because it's an older car, older vehicle. So we are going to put a cage in it, even though it doesn't look the greatest. I mean, some people like the look of it. I like the look of a roll cage in drag racing cars, not on like every car. Or if you're going like autocrossing and stuff like that. But for this one, since the weight is already super low after weight reduction, I'm going to add the cage to make it a little, you know, stiffer all the way around. And now let's put a better transmission in here. The best clutch. And I know we could go with a 10 speed, but I feel like that's going to be too many gears for us to go through. Yes, we can always change the gear ratios, so we don't have to use all 10 gears. But I think for this one, I'm just going to stick with the 6-speed auto. It has a 4-speed manual from factory. And I think the 6-speed auto is going to be just fine. A light drive shaft and a racing diff. And now we can finally add some more power to this car. So we got so many engine swap options. Wow. Yeah, we're going to leave the stock engine in here. I kind of like it. We're going to put a better cam in it so it can rev higher. Wow, we're actually going to gain 100 extra horsepower by just doing the cams. And our horsepower number is finally going to match our torque then. Because right now it's low in horsepower. And the torque is up there because it's a big motor from factory. So I'm going to do cams and exhaust. And that's it. That sounds like a real V8. That's it. Cams and exhaust. Nothing else. How much power do we have now? That's perfect. 442 horsepower. 460 torque. These are some solid numbers. On a 2,900 pound car? Dude, this thing is gonna be fun to drive. Somewhere in the middle of A-class. A little bit higher than mid. That's perfect. That is perfect. We're spending $46,000 and $50. Look at that. More horsepower, less weight, and more traction. It's going to be pulling more lateral G's. Okay, we're ready for that championship. Where we had the barn find restriction. So let's go back to it. Where is it again? I think it was somewhere down here. We'll find it. It's over here. Drives real good. Wow, it turns in so fast. Thanks to those 275s up front. Look at that. Gear ratios are pretty decent.
Horizon Arcade will begin
without adjusting it.
Good luck.
Wow, it's really balanced. I like it. Naturally aspirated, you know? Good old V8 power. We almost hit 180 miles there. Almost. On a car that only has 442 horsepower and 460 torque. Wow, that's really good traction. Good brakes. Let's see how this thing does. There we go. Let's see how the Mustang does. We're racing against all wipers? Wow, they're all wipers. And they all have a wing on them? Wow. We got some solid competition here. I think this Mustang's got it. Yeah, these wipers might have more power, but we have more... I don't know. We actually have less weight, so... Yeah, I don't think we have anything that's more than the wipers, but in terms of weight, we have less weight, so... I think that's where this car is gonna shine. We might have better brakes, yeah. And I think our gearing is more aggressive compared to the wipers. The wipers have long gears. So this is the first time where less is more. Come on, Mustang. I'm glad we didn't put too much power in this car. It has the right amount of weight and right amount of grip for the power level. And that's really helping us, you know, keeping the car on the track. I mean, the wipers are just behind us. What? No, 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 no. No, bro, no, no, no. You don't do that in the last moment like that. No, I'm not gonna let that one slide. Did you see that? Okay, should I restart or should I just focus on the next two races? I think I should just let this one slide. I'll focus on the next two races. I think that's a smart choice here. Wow. Dude got me last freaking second. I can't believe that. Oh, dude. That's all good. Alright, for these next two races, this one and the next one, we need to finish first. We can't let those wipers win. Snakes versus horses. This horse is gonna win. There we go. Solid. Nice. Nice race. Just have to do that one more time. Alright, where's the next one? Where's the next one hiding? How come I don't see it? What? I know there's one more. Oh, right here in the middle. Actually, we're not taking that dirt road. We're not taking any dirt roads. I'm done with dirt roads. Let's get it done. There we go. What a race. The 1961 E-Type. What a race. This car did so good. Better than I expected. Victory donuts. What's that E-Type worth? Let's check it out. Okay, 150. Not bad. Not bad at all. I think we completed all the championships. We might have one left. Yeah, we got this one left. The trial. We did all the regular championships. This one is a trial. So let's finish that. Let's also complete that. Yeah, we did everything else. We had some great races today. Some fun races. Alright, I'm gonna pick a off-roading car, off-roading truck, so I can just climb right up the mountain. Or we can pick something like this 911 and just hit the roads. The 911 GT3R. Yeah, let's do that. I think that'll be more fun. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. We got downforce for days. let's do this. So I have a few eligible cars for this event, it looks like. So I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna choose one before we even start the event. So of course it has to be one that I already own. And it needs to be a B-class car. I honestly think I'm gonna go with the Monero. It's gonna do just alright. The XE-S is also another decent choice, but it's kind of down on power and torque compared to the Monero. The Jag F-Pace could be also another decent choice because it's all-wheel drive and it's got decent power, and it's actually got a little bit of room for improvement. So we could take it back to our garage and, you know, make it better. But I think we can easily get away with all the hassle if we just go with the Monero. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's start the championship. Starts in a minute. Okay. We should start any moment here. gonna start. I'm waiting. A bone stock Monero. Let's go. Or you can call that a GTO. Bro, get out of my way! should have picked an all-wheel drive car for this race, but oh well. Definitely not the right car for this race. No. Somehow, my team won. Team Blue won. Okay, we're going to round 3. That's crazy. That's super crazy. Okay, this is a good one. This one's gonna be the decider, bro. My team only had 2 people left at the end, but we still won somehow, so it's 1 each right now. This one is the decider. And you just have to make it work. Wow. 2 versus 6. This is a sprint race. 1 lap. I mean, it's not a lap, it's a sprint race. Come on! You got this! Get out of here, Team Red. Team Blue's gonna win. I'm in a stock rear-wheel drive car, which is not really meant for dirt roads, but we're gonna make it work. Alice Power. Come on, show them what's up. No way! That's crazy! 2 people beat 6 people! No freaking way. This has to be the best race ever, man. Good job, teammate. Good job. Knocked it out of the park, man. Good job, bro. I'm proud of you. No restarts, none of that. We stayed in. We didn't quit. We had faith. And we achieved it. And now that's gonna be our motto for 2026, you know, have faith. Have faith and not give up. Nice. We were on the eye pace. And some jean shorts. Okay, I'll take them. Wow, this has been a great stream. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.